Less than a year ago, Liverpool found themselves at the top of the Premier League, having remained in that position throughout most of the season, but during the final stretch, Liverpool completely imploded. They picked up only one win from the last 10 games, and threw away the title on the final matchday after a 0-0 draw. Castorre was distraught, but he promised himself and the Liverpool fans that next time will be different. Today, Liverpool find themselves one win away from being declared Premier League champions. All they have to do is beat second place Arsenal. The Gunners were 8 points behind, but were ready to give it their all. However, Lorenzo Castorre Jr. wasn't gonna watch his team pull up another trophy. He scored the opener. And later helped Liverpool double their lead. With his incredible leadership and his breathtaking performances all across the season, Castorre guided his team to yet another victory, which sealed the Premier League title in Merseyside red. After a year of pain and heartbreak, Castorre had delivered what he promised, because he is a man of his word. Liverpool crowned as the best team in England, with the Chilean star as the engine of the team. But this was only half of the job, as it was now time to face Atletico de Madrid in the Champions League semis. The Civitas Metropolitano, the home of Atletico de Madrid, our opponent in the semi-finals of the Champions League. Now, before the match, the ambience was already quite heated because several Atletico de Madrid fans on social media had been laughing and mocking not only Lorenzo Castorre but his father's name. They were making ill of his name, ill of his legend, to get Lorenzo out of his mind before the game, because we all know how dangerous Castorre is. So the fans tried to get inside his head, and this clearly did affect Lorenzo Castorre, who was really determined to silence them, to show them that he is not going to accept such disrespect, because he takes his father's name and his father's legend very seriously. It means everything to his heart and to his soul. So Castorre was clearly very heated before this game. And you already saw that in the 3rd minute of the match, his strong challenge on the opponents. He was booked, and he had to play the rest of the game with the caution of already having a yellow card. But Castorre, well, his quality is out of this world because he played a through ball to his teammate. But he couldn't put it in back of the net, the goalkeeper saved it. It was an incredible opportunity wasted. A very good save by the goalkeeper, but Liverpool were clearly in control of the match, dominating Atletico de Madrid, who were growing into the game. But by the end of the first half, Castorre got the ball at the edge of the box and drove it home. Castorre scored, and what did he do? He went directly to the stand to face the fans, and he shushed them, he silenced them. They were throwing him bottles, they were throwing him garbage items, everything, but he didn't care. He wanted to get in there and say, hey, this is me, this is the guy who just scored in your face, and what are you gonna do about it? Because that's what Castorre does. He is a man that if you bite him, he's gonna bite back 10 times harder. And that was it for the first half, a first half that Liverpool clearly were the better side in, but in the second half, Atletico de Madrid clearly grew into the match. They weren't gonna allow Lorenzo Castorre to silence and shush their fans like that. Julian Alvarez made it 1-1 and it was now tied between the two teams. In the final minutes of the game, Castorre was determined to score once again, not only for his father's name, but also because of how determined he was to win this Champions League for Liverpool. Oh, an amazing opportunity. Gets an incredible shot in, and the goalkeeper just handles it out. Castorre knew that was the chance to win the match at the Metropolitano, but it was 1-1 and all to be decided once again at Anfield. Anfield, once again the stage where everything would be resolved. We had already beaten PSG in the Champions League group stages, Juventus in the last 16, and the great Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals. And so it was only Atletico Madrid standing between us and the Champions League final. Castorre was determined to not only win the Champions League for Liverpool, but the treble. He could almost taste it, he could almost smell it. It was super close. All we had to do was beat Atletico de Madrid in Anfield and get ourselves to the final and win it. Right off the bat, there was a lot of energy and intent from Lorenzo Castorre and from the Liverpool team. But Atletico Madrid grew into the match and weren't scared to fight. Griezmann took the lead for Atletico in the 29th minute, which was definitely not part of the plan. But Castorre kept fighting, the match was long, there was still a lot to give. A squirrel outside the box, chaos everywhere, but the referee blew a foul in our favour. Lenglet with his silly challenge, and McAllister tied it once again at Anfield, and Liverpool were right back in it. That was the end of the first half, 1-1 on the night and 2-2 in aggregate, both teams on one away goal. But by the hour mark, Lorenzo Castorre threw a header into the box and the rebound fell to him. He hits the crossbar, almost takes the lead on the night for Liverpool, almost so close, but it wasn't quite in, and right after, Atletico Madrid found themselves with a lot of space. Griezmann almost scored again, but Alisson saved us. However, they were not backing down. Another stellar save by Alisson, who kept Julian Alvarez out, and Liverpool could breathe again. On the next corner, Lorenzo Castorre initiated a counter-attack, dribbling the ball across the pitch, and gave a through ball to Salah, who completely wasted the opportunity, and it was 1-1 at full time, which means that we're going to extra time. In extra time, Liverpool forgot how to defend, and Victor Mollejo found himself quite open. Alisson forced a foul, which saved us, but on the free kick after, they scored, and we now needed 2 goals before extra time was over, or we would be out of the Champions League. Castorre tried and pushed, and fought as hard as he could during the final 15 minutes of the match. But in the end, it wasn't enough. Liverpool had been knocked out of the Champions League once again by a Madrid team, this time in the semi-finals, and so close to the final, to the grand finale. So close to a Champions League trophy and a treble. But it wasn't enough. We had been knocked out, and it was more heartbreak and more pain for Lorenzo Castorre, who had done everything he could. We had fought our way through PSG, Juventus, Bayern Munich, but Atletico de Madrid was where we came short. Our journey was over. I had tried my best and done everything I could to give Liverpool the Champions League and a treble this season after the heartbreak from the previous one, but it wasn't possible. We weren't collectively good enough. However, Castorre was no longer a young star. He was already one of the established best players in the world. He was closing the season with 41 goals and 27 assists, with still a few games to spare. So the question remains, is Liverpool good enough for Lorenzo Castorre Jr.?